Well, hey y'all, happy Monday. Well, welcome back. So today I thought we'd start out with a little bit of chores in the garden. As I told you, things are gonna be changing for this okra plant here. And we've got this one big okra growing here on the top, and even though I've got tons of seeds, we like to save seeds. So since this was such a wonderful plant for us, we're gonna leave this part of the plant and the main stalk, and I'm gonna clip the rest of this off, and then we're gonna take a little tour. Oh, and we're also going to talk about temperatures because it's pretty chilly today here in Arizona. So that's something that we gardeners have really got to bear in mind. Well, let's get this chopped up so we can take a tour around. So easy does it. There's not a whole lot left, and some of the stumps were a little too big to get with my handy set. So I'll come back later with some of my pruning shears and get a better job of that. But like I said, we'll just let these two hang around. We've got some side shoots here that'll continue bringing energy into the plant, but almost all the time when you're saving seeds, you want to let that seed get its full nutrition and bounty from the plant. Let it dry completely out on the plant and then harvest it to harvest your seeds. So now let's take a look around. Okay, so we've changed up our tour time a little bit because I kind of want to give you a view of life in the afternoon. So right now it's really just like right about noon in my backyard, and if you remember this summer this was a super sunny spot. When you look over here, it looks like there's nothing over there, that it's completely dark and that there's no sun except for just right over there. So a lot of things are changing in the yard, and we're going to kind of talk about that as I go along. Some exciting things that are going on is that our little tomatoes over here are starting to pinken up and turn red. So I'm really thrilled because I thought I was going to have to bring these inside and let them ripen up in the window or something, but there's a lot of color popping out there and it's really super exciting. Our sweet little loofah is still happy, and I really think we got some pollination over there. This little lonely Aussie bean, those dry on the plant. I guess I could pick these green beans and munch on them since that looks like the short life of them. Now that the okra is out of the way, I'll come and trim up this kale, which should stimulate it to start growing like crazy. And here's some more happy kale. And I don't know what's going on with that. But look at this loofah. This loofah really is getting bigger every week. So we might get one good loofah out of there. And here's a cucumber. Oh wow, look at that. It's actually got a little wee baby cucumber on it. So, wow. I thought it was so wild that they were flowering, but look, if that got pollinated, how fun. So this is the sparse little life of bed one now, and how little light it gets in the afternoon. Still totally lacking in doing anything with the oregano, but I'm actually gonna move these plants here back to their former location at the front of bed one so that they can get different parts of, because over here they really just get morning sun, and so I think they'll be happier and maybe stop trying to flower on me. Oh, look at those collard greens back there, really starting to look happy there. This vine fell a little bit, so this little spaghetti is struggling. A lot of this Armenian, I picked the last one off over there, but it looks like it's starting to fade away, even though there's all this newer growth coming this way. And that, I don't know what squash that is, but we'll take it. And this scraggly pumpkin is still trying to make its way, but no pumpkins yet. I'm gonna have to come out here and get all these seeds off these zinnias because I've missed them blooming every single time, but I will use those seeds. My pride and joy over here has been getting beat up in the wind today, but I'm so thrilled with how tall my little Brussels sprout is. And look at all these happy faces. It's like they get bigger and bigger every single week. I'm so excited. I'm like almost thinking about putting some more buckets right here in front, because from right where this line is kind of like the sun zone until, right about now. So they get almost exactly 6 hours of quote unquote full sun, but otherwise you know, this is the shade of my backyard in the afternoon, and the only thing that really gets sun is over here. Now, last week, we, let me see how I can get a good angle on these, because it's so dark over here. Maybe this way, I don't know. So, but we cut back the watering on these temporaries, and looky, we got little beans coming out, and it's kind of going on all over the plant. I was across the yard today and I thought, am I seeing white over there? And I was, so that's exciting. And this is another one of those where we'll let them just kind of dry on the plant. Now, these peppers are just going through all kinds of changes. My husband ate one that was pretty red like this yesterday and said it really did have some bite to it. And I am so in love with this red romaine. I'm gonna pick this, and I think next week I'm gonna share with you guys my favorite homemade ranch recipe, because that is just looking too good. I can't wait to even get it on a sandwich. And then down in here, there's some Swiss chard, and this is regular romaine, and that's some more romaine there. That's a little extra. Oh, look at all that kale there. See, kind of same thing with this Armenian. I think I'm not seeing any new flowers, and it might be going on the wayside there. Here's a little harvest I pulled in a minute ago. My husband told me he got all these, and he really didn't, because he let them get huge. But I did leave one down in there, and we sent some to school with the girls, and the teachers were just super thrilled about that. This pumpkin, I mean watermelon, came into life really weird like that. It looks like something you can get at the grocery store. So we probably need to get rid of that. This hasn't got much further, and I think a lot of this has to do with the temperature. And let me see if I can get down in here. So you can't hardly see it right now, but that's where the big block of fungus grows that I keep trying to tell you about. Like, I think this is probably part of it. Yeah, it's all dried now. And I'm gonna come and get some of these. There's another wee watermelon down there beside that cantaloupe. But yeah, I need to stir fry some of these up. Time to eat some. This week, I promise you, I'm going to do something with this bed. I made some changes in life to free up some time so that I could spend more time with you guys and my garden. So look out, we're coming to show you that next week. Look at this dango tomato. Just flowers everywhere, and that's probably because she gets all this afternoon sun. So maybe I'll let her live another day, and meanwhile, the sweet potatoes just growing like crazy. Still don't have any major indications of flowers coming out. Maybe there's some flowers in there. I don't know, maybe just new leaves. But I definitely think we've got to see flowers. Oh, look, it's a bunch of little tomatoes down there too. So there's the sweet potato bed and the conclusion of our little tour. The big thing I want to chat with you about today is temperature, because even though it feels like it's going to be hot forever, it really is not at all. The girls realized that this morning when they popped out of the car for school, and they squealed because they didn't have little jackets on. So the temperatures, I keep kind of mentioning this, but they're definitely shifting, and that means a lot for us. First of all, the daytime temperature is kind of shifted down into what is regularly going to be the 70s. There's a time about 7 days out from right now that we're going to creep back up into the 80s, but for the most part, that's where our temperatures are going to be at. Now, one reason why that's big important to us as gardeners is seed germination. So seeds that we planted a month or two ago, we'd see them pop up really, really fast. But all seeds germinate at different rates based on the temperature. year. Some faster than others, some slower than others. So if you've recently planted seeds and you're like, wow, these seeds are never going to come up, they will come up. It just takes a little bit longer. And I'll show you later this week when I work on that herb bed that it's probably a good idea if you're planting something right now, maybe cover it for a couple of days, like a light blanket, a sheet, some burlap, something like that, just to keep it a little bit warm. When the sun beats down on it, it'll hold that warmth throughout the night. Now the nighttime temperature, that's the temp that we really want to be mindful of going forward, because if you're not paying attention, you should, because this week as we go into the 70s and we track down to almost 73 about midweek, we're also going to see the overnight temperature come down as low as 43. So in some parts of the valley and some microclimates, and those are just different pockets within one's backyard, could see the temperatures actually come below that 40-degree mark and be into that 30 zone. And that 30 zone is where we're really going to have to take some precautions, whether it be sheets, only growing season appropriate things, some type of frost cloth, anything that you can do in that regard. So if you've got some things that are tender and delicate, like my loofahs are not going to want to get very cold. You definitely want to make some type of arrangements for some inexpensive frost cloth. But I can't encourage you enough to start paying attention to what goes on with the nighttime temperatures, because if you do, then you don't ever have to worry about any of your crops getting lost to a little bit of frost, and you get to continue your seasons right on and take advantage of that year-round growing. So that's my big tip for this week, is to pay attention to the temperature and not let it worry you when it comes to the rate of germination that you're experiencing, and also use the temperature to help you protect your plants from any colder temperatures that we experience in the evenings. As usual, I want to thank you so much for checking in with us. I'm excited to start bringing you a lot more videos because I freed up some time in my life, like I said earlier. I hope you have the best day ever, and whenever you get a chance, just swing back on by and see what we got going on.